Bishop is living on a ship docked at a beach lodge, embracing a lifestyles of solitude and ordinary. Every morning he begins evolved his day with a freshly brewed cup of espresso, the wealthy aroma filling the air as he performs his favored song, savoring the tranquility round him. As soon as finished, he methodically secures his boat, activating a hidden safety bomb as a protect towards Inreses. With the whole thing in region, he hops onto his bike and speeds off to a familiar eating place wherein the group of workers greets him like a vintage buddy. The server escorts Bishop to a secluded desk overlooking the large ocean, the waves shimmering under the morning sun as he settles in. A younger lady with putting Asian features precedes him with quiet self-belief. She tells him she's been trying to find him for pretty a while. Without hesitation, she grants her message. Her employer has a task for him, 3 objectives, all of whom must die below the guise of natural reasons. With an understanding appearance, she assures him that one of these assignment is properly inside his information. The woman problems a stark caution: if Bishop refuses, she will divulge his mystery to the ones nonetheless hunting him, revealing that he faked his death and has been going for walks from his beyond. As she speaks, Bishop fast notices numerous guys close by, their watchful menacing gazes making it clear that to use stress. Remaining composed, he frivolously asks her to make a Telecel smartphone name. The instant she retrieves her Telecel smartphone, he rapidly snaps an image of her stuck off shield. She reacts via way of means of drawing a gun. However, Bishop's reflexes are quicker. In an immediate, he disarms and subdues her, knocking her subconscious earlier than the scenario spirals. Similarly out of control, the woman's partner lunged at Bishop. However, together along with his professional fight abilities, he rapidly and effectively took them down. As he regained his bearings, he glanced on the eating place seconds SEC cameras and noticed every other organization of armed thugs remaining. In losing no time, Bishop vaulted over the eating place's wall and leapt onto a close-by cable vehicle, the use of it as his escape route, but the woman refused to permit him slip away. Determined, she and some of her guys pursued him, boarding the identical cable car cabin and turning their guns at the unsuspecting passengers, the use of them as leverage towards Bishop. They frantically looked for Bishop, unaware that he turned into perched above them simply because the woman stuck sight of him and fired her weapon. Bishop leapt off the cable vehicle, landing on a plastic sightseeing boat under and slipping out in their retain. That night he carefully again to the dock wherein his boat turned into mode. From a secure vantage factor, he noticed strangers carelessly rummaging via his property. Without hesitation, he pulled out his Telecel smartphone and activated the detonator. In an immediate, the boat erupted right into a large explosion, reducing the whole lot to flames and erasing all lines of his presence. Later on, Bishop made his manner to a secluded place filled with towering transport boxes. He pried one open and without hesitation burned his passport and all documents tied to his identification, erasing the last remnants of his beyond. Together along with his tracks included, he spark off for a faraway island in Thailand, in which he reunited with a lady from his beyond. She owned a small visitor hotel at the island and had as soon as shared a deep reference to him. Without query, she led him to the same room he had stayed in earlier, than providing him a quiet refuge. As soon as again in the room, Bishop went immediately to a hidden compartment, retrieving a bag full of essentials, a Telecel smartphone, weapons and a couple of backup passports. Losing no time, he commenced monitoring the whereabouts of the female he had photographed on the eating place. Putting the following segment of his plan into movement, his seek fast led him to discover important information about the female and her organization, a person named Crane. In the meantime, Gino arrived on the resort, searching out the proprietor and requesting first useful resource help, ignorant of the typhoon brewing below the floor. While tending Talking to Gina, the resort proprietor noticed a sparkling bruise on her hand, a clean sign of a current battle. With quiet concern she requested if Gina wished any further assist. Gina sincerely asked a primary useful resource package, insisting she changed into excellent earlier than leaving the resort. Later that night time she made her manner to a small boat moored nearby, vanishing into the darkness from the resort proprietor. An established acquaintance of Bishop took place to look towards the boat. With inside the dim moonlight she caught sight of a shadowy discerner person changed into, attacking the female on board. Concerned for the female's protection, the resort proprietor rushed to Bishop, pleading for his assist. Without hesitation Bishop made his manner to the boat. Upon arrival he confronted the person, his voice bloodless and unwavering, as he ordered him to permit the female cross and depart right away. However, the guy, defiant and reckless, refused, pulling a gun and aiming it at Bishop. In a break-up second Bishop fired first, taking him down with deadly precision. After making sure the female changed into secure, he again to the resort, and confident the proprietor that the scenario had been treated earlier than leaving, he requested her to set up for Gina to be delivered back to the resort. As Bishop searched the boat he got here throughout a passport and a Telecel smartphone with an image of himself displayed at the display. His instincts sharpened, sensing a deeper risk. Without hesitation he activated an explosive device, obliterating the boat to erase all strains. Earlier than heading again to the hotel he faced Gina annoying solutions. He wondered why her phone contained photos of him and whether she became running for Crane under pressure. Gina confessed Crane became blackmailing her, the use of something in opposition to her to hold her below his manage. She additionally found out the chilling reality: the complete ordeal had been a cautiously orchestrated entice to trap Bishop in. Crane's scheme became simple: use Gina to get near Bishop. Her venture became to satisfy him and make a call to verify his area, sealing his fate. However, there has been greater to the tale. Bishop exposed that Gina became going for walks, a safe haven for youngsters rescued from human trafficking. Crane had exploited her compassion, the use of the kids' lives as leverage to pressure her into compliance. As Bishop processed the revelation, his sharp eyes stuck sight of a boat drawing close the island. A set of armed guys stood on deck, the presence a clean signal his hunters have been remaining in the island. Bishop told Gina to hold up the act, pretending she became nevertheless trying to benefit his accept as true. Within the meantime Gina, triumph over with guilt, certainly apologized for placing him up. She defined that she had no preference. The youngsters at the safe haven have been the whole thing to her. Bishop listened, his gaze crammed with expertise. He reputable, her resolve spotting a warfare he knew all too properly. He then found out a chunk of his beyond each he and Crane had as soon as been below the manage of the identical ruthless crime boss. However, in contrast to Crane, Bishop had controlled to interrupt loose. Crane had never been in a position to interrupt loose, and he suffered brutal effects from the ones who blamed him for Bishop's breakout. This simplest fueled his deep-seated hatred toward Bishop. Decided to get Gina to safety, Bishop devised a plan for his or her breakout. Earlier than placing it into movement, he passed her an eye as a keepsake, telling her to protect it properly and assure for the duration of her they could meet once more. But earlier than they may want to act, the plan became suddenly derailed. Crane's guys seemed out of nowhere and abducted Gina. Decided to rescue Gina. Bishop contacted Crane directly, annoying a face-to-face assembly when they subsequently met. Bishop wasted no time and made his stance clean. He desired Gina launched without delay. Crane, unfazed, met Bishop's extreme gaze and said his phrases: Gina could simplest be freed if Bishop finished the project of eliminating 3 objectives. To show he wasn't bluffing, Crane passed Bishop a file containing information of the objectives. The first call at the listing belonged to an African palms provider presently locked away in a maximum security prison, an impenetrable fortress infamous for its close to not possible get entry to. Crane wasn't completed. He imposed some other condition. handing Bishop a GPS pill and ordering him to swallow it. After finishing the assignment, making sure they may want to screen his each move, unmoved Bishop constant Crane with a cold stare and demanded evidence that Gina changed into nonetheless alive. Crane unfazed responded with calculated ease. After every successful kill, Bishop could be accredited a name to confirm her protection. As a very last assurance, Crane promised to show Gina's exact place as soon as the ultimate target changed into removed Bishop became his attention to the primary target. Meticulously studying the file, his assignment led him to Malaysia, wherein he studied each element. Approximately the excessive safety jail housing the arms dealer, the power changed into an remoted fortress floating in the center of the ocean and surrounded via way of means of waters infested with competitive sharks. Towering 100-meter cliffs encased the jail, forming a herbal barrier that made infiltration regarded nearly not possible. Each factor pointed to assignment of intense issue. Getting in changed into one component, however escaping alive could be a fair extra assignment. Determined to discover a manner in, Bishop meticulously studied the listing of desired guys, searching for an appropriate identification to expect. After cautious deliberation, he decided on a target whose look and background appropriate his desires. To finish the hide, he skillfully replicated the man's different facial tattoo, etching it onto his very own pores and skin together along with his new identification in region. Bishop changed into now ready to execute his bold infiltration. After meticulously getting ready for the assignment, Bishop stepped onto the road on the second day, completely privy to what could come subsequent. As predicted, he changed into swiftly arrested and transported to the jail. Sitting in his mobile, Crane's warning echoed in his thoughts: if the goals failed to die via way of means of twist of fate, there could be no rescue. As soon as interior, Bishop fast located that the arms dealer changed into by no means on my own Krill, as he changed into known as changed into, usually flanked via way of means of bodyguards in search of extra information. Bishop discreetly wondered an inmate who discovered that Krill changed into a ruthless murderer infamous for orchestrating the assassination of the Liberian president. The inmate discovered that many had tried to kill Krill in jail, however none had succeeded. At some point while an inmate released an assault on Krill, Bishop all of sudden stepped in and defended him. Intrigued via way of means of Bishop's moves, Krill expressed his gratitude and invited him to dinner as a token of appreciation, but while the instant arrived, Bishop failed to hesitate. He removed Krill with precision. His dying changed into formally dominated as food poisoning. However, the consequences of Bishop's moves had been a long way from over. Quickly after, Bishop finished a bold escape plan, detonating a segment of the jail wall to create and go out. Before diving into the treacherous waters, he covered his frame with a unique substance to repel sharks, making sure a more secure passage. Without a time to waste, he swallowed their GPS pill and plunged into the ocean, bracing himself for the perilous swim in advance. Nearly right away, a message changed into dispatched to the ship's captain, confirming that Bishop had finished his assignment and that his place changed into being transmitted in actual time. Quickly after, Bishop controlled to touch Gina through video name. Her eyes had been packed with fear as she knowledgeable him that he had handiest 36 hours to finish the second assassination. If he failed, they might kill her. Bishop remained calm, reassuring her that nobody might damage her and that she had not anything to worry. Moments later, Crane dispatched over the info of his next target, Adrian, a billionaire in the mining and dust enterprise who secretly ran a human trafficking empire. His fortress changed into a towering skyscraper in Australia, wherein he resided at the 58th ground. Bishop discovered that Adrian's condo changed into a close to impenetrable fortress, strengthened with stable concrete partitions and ready with bulletproof protection structures. Each access factor changed into tightly monitored through sensors and fingerprint popularity gadgets, making infiltration appear not possible. Undeterred, Bishop devised a plan. He posed as a potential tenant, inquisitive about the unit directly underneath Adrian's. Seizing the opportunity, he discreetly duplicated a key to Adrian's condo and meticulously photographed the ground plans, analyzing each element for a way. Disguised as a renovation employee, Bishop hid a state-of-the-art glass bomb inside his uniform. The use of the copied key, he slipped into Adrian's condo undetected, planted the tool and exited silently. Shifting unexpectedly, he made his manner to the highly priced glass backside pool in the billionaire's personal suite, wherein the final phase of his plan might unfold with precision. Bishop placed the bomb and detonated it, shattering the pool. The strengthened glass gave mana, sending Adrian plummeting to his death in an immediate. Even as talking with Bishop, Gina subtly angled her digital digicam to capture the boat's identity number. Spotting the clue, Bishop quickly decided its precise vicinity. Losing no time, he boarded a helicopter and set off towards the vessel. Upon arrival, he unexpectedly infiltrated the boat, eliminating numerous guards with precision. However, his achievement changed into short-lived. Bishop changed into, in the long run, overpowered and captured Crane. His expression, bloodless and unforgiving, warned him that if he persevered to defy orders, their agreement might be terminated without delay. Along with any wish of Gina's survival, Crane surpassed Bishop. His very last project, to cast off Max, a rich American arms dealer who had received a former communist monument in Bulgaria. The monument perched at Pinnacle, a remote mountain, made infiltration a good more assignment. Under the mountain lay a hidden facility entire with a submarine restore dock. Those submarines had been no regular vessels. They had been armed with effective intercontinental ballistic missiles, making Max a good more bold target. The ability changed into an impenetrable fortress with protection so tight that any intruder confronted certain loss of life. After Bishop removed guards, Max straightaway heightened security, making get entry to even greater hard with handiest 48 hours ultimate earlier than the cut-off date. Bishop knew he needed to act fast. He quickly determined that Max had scheduled a scientific helicopter to arrive. Seizing the possibility, Bishop concealed himself below the plane, awaiting the best second to strike. As quickly as Bishop arrived, he unexpectedly activated a jammer, disabling the surveillance cameras and plunging the ability into chaos. Transferring with precision, he removed the guards trying to escort Max to a stable room to further disrupt their plans. Bishop rigged the elevator with explosives, triggering a effective blast that shook the building. While Max subsequently reached the secure room, he became taken aback to discover Bishop already awaiting him. As opposed to an immediate assault, Bishop proposed an unexpected alliance, providing to stage Max's loss of life as a part of a plan to entice Crane right into a lure. Plan became to persuade Crane that Max became certainly lifeless, prompting him to send his guys to retrieve the frame. This distraction would depart Crane vulnerable and by myself on his boat, making it the ideal second to put off him. Max's meant loss of life became not anything greater than uncomplicated deception. As a part of the act, a big explosion erupted at Max's headquarters, sending him plummeting into a water basin below the floor. Bishop became already ready. He unexpectedly handed Max an oxygen tank and guided him to protection, making sure their breakout earlier than the dirt settled. Bishop and Max retreated to a secluded island wherein Bishop wasted no time contacting Crane, annoying Gina's launch, but Crane remained adamant, refusing to conform until he noticed Max's frame himself. Without hesitation, Bishop informed him that Max's corpse became secured interior. His submarine docked at the facility as anticipated. Crane took the bait straight away, dispatching his guys to the submarine dock to show the death, placing the very last level of Bishop's plan plan into movement. Bishop had meticulously set the level at Crane's reception area, rigging it with explosives and strategic places. As quickly as Crane's guys arrived, Bishop released a swift and lethal attack, casting off them with precision. Looking via the safety cameras, Crane may want to do not anything to prevent the chaos unfolding earlier than him seizing the second. Bishop infiltrated Crane's boat, taking down each defender in his direction, but amidst the crossfire Gina became shot. Crane swiftly activated the boat's self-destruct gadget. However, Bishop fought via the chaos to attain Gina. He located her in a lifeboat and ensured she escaped simply moments earlier than the explosion. In the meantime, Bishop and Crane engaged in a brutal hand-to-hand struggle, every preventing relentlessly for survival. Ultimately, Bishop overpowered Crane, restraining him with a heavy chain as the boat erupted right into a fiery explosion. Their struggle got here to a definitive end. Gina became effectively rescued from the blast, even as Max and his guy discovered from a distance, because the Deliver sank below the waves, its wreckage slowly being swallowed via way of means of the ocean. With inside the very last scene, Gina is visible surrounded via way of means of the children, her expression packed with alleviation and pleasure. Abruptly she is greatly surprised as Bishop seems earlier than her alive and well. In the meantime, Max critiques the security pictures and portions collectively the truth Bishop had cleverly taken